Welcome back, everybody, to this self-guided podcast where today we're going to be talking about achieving high levels.
Right?
We're going to be looking at this idea through the lens of Bashar's 9 levels of consciousness.
Okay.
Um, a lot of times people think of consciousness as something that, we're going to dig deep down into the subconscious, but we're actually going to be flipping that on its head.
Interesting.
And we're going to kind of discover how going up is actually the way to unlock
Okay, so let's
your potential.
let's start at the very top.
Okay.
At that very top level,
Yeah.
which is the oversoul.
The oversoul.
And this is the source of all of our lives, past, present, future, even parallel realities.
Whoa. Mind-blowing.
It is kind of a big concept.
So how do we even begin to understand
No, I like to think of it as
that?
I like to think of the oversoul as a hand.
Okay.
And all of us as individual souls are like the fingers on the hand.
So we're all connected.
We're all connected.
But we're all on our own separate journeys.
Yeah, we all come from that same source, but we're all individuals and we're all on our own journeys.
Okay.
And then from there, each soul creates.
Oh, so each soul is on a mission,
Yes,
venturing out from this oversoul.
correct.
Okay, and then how does that work?
So then each soul creates a higher mind. And this exists in a realm that is parallel to our physical reality.
Okay.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The higher mind perceives time differently.
Oh,
It sees the past, present, and future simultaneously.
This is like our higher mind has this bird's eye view of our whole life path.
Exactly. You can imagine your higher mind standing on a mountaintop,
Yeah.
seeing this panoramic view, and your physical mind is down in the valley.
Oh, that's such a good visual.
Yeah, navigating all the day-to-day things.
So connecting with our higher mind is like this, internal compass.
Yeah.
Like we have this guidance.
Exactly. It gives us those insights
Wow.
and the guidance we need to make those decisions that are really in alignment with our purpose.
Our soul's purpose.
Our soul's purpose, yeah.
Okay, so
So now we get into something called the template level reality.
a template level.
Yeah, which is a really interesting concept.
Okay.
This is like the blueprint for our physical lives.
So does that mean our lives are free?
Exactly. This level kind of introduces the concept of destiny,
Oh.
but it's not in a way that negates free will.
Oh.
So you can think of it more as guidelines.
Okay.
A framework within which you have the power to make your own choices.
So it's not a fixed script. It's more like a choose your own adventure.
Exactly. And what's even more exciting is that Bashar suggests we can consciously redesign these blueprints.
Right.
Especially now in this time of transformation.
So we actually have the ability to rewrite our destinies.
Yes.
To better align with our desires.
To align with your evolving desires and aspirations, exactly.
That's so empowering.
It is really empowering.
Okay, so how does this template level actually manifest in our lives?
Right. So that's where the collective conscious agreement level comes in.
A collective conscious.
Yeah, which Bashar also calls the collective automatic mind.
Oh, okay.
And this sets the ground rules
Okay.
for physical reality, so things like the laws of physics.
Oh, so we don't have to consciously think about gravity. It just works.
That's this level.
That's a good thing.
It is, because it provides a stable structure
Yeah.
within which we can have all our experiences.
Okay.
So we've gone from this grand oversoul to
Yeah.
these collective rules of reality.
Yes.
But how do we become individuals?
Right. Where's our individual personality come in?
So the journey continues down to the automatic individual mind, and this represents your unique themes and purpose for this lifetime.
Oh,
And then this leads to the formation of the unconscious, subconscious, and conscious minds.
so this is where our personality,
The three parts of your personality that express themselves through the ego.
so our way of being in the world
Yes, exactly.
emerges.
Yes, and here's where a common misconception pops up.
Okay.
We often think of our subconscious and unconscious as being below us.
Right. We think we have to dig down deep into the shadows to find.
Oh, like we have to dig down
okay.
to find our hidden beliefs and emotions.
Right.
But here's the surprising truth.
Okay.
From the perspective of the 9 levels, the conscious mind is actually at the bottom.
Oh, so it's flipped.
Exactly. You need to raise your vibration,
Not lower it.
not lower it, to access those deeper levels.
That's so interesting.
It is interesting.
Because we always talk about going down into our,
Exactly. And that misunderstanding can actually lead to frustration
oh,
and what Bashar calls the negative ego.
the negative ego.
Yeah, because when you try to force your vibration down to try to find answers, it creates resistance and it amplifies negative feelings because there's nowhere for that energy to go.
So instead of digging down, we need to be reaching up.
Reaching up exactly by raising your vibration, you align with those higher levels of consciousness. Okay.
Where the true answers and insights reside.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this whole system works.
Oh, sure.
I'm curious about the difference between like the soul and the spirit
Okay.
because they seem very similar.
It is a subtle but important difference.
Okay.
The soul, when it first emerges from the oversoul, is like unfired clay.
Okay.
It has potential, but no defined form.
Hmm.
And so through your life experiences, the soul gains its unique identity, like that clay being molded into a specific shape.
Okay.
After death, that soul, now imprinted with all those experiences,
Yeah.
becomes a spirit and returns to the oversoul, enriching it with this new wisdom.
So the soul's like the raw material.
Yeah.
And the spirit is like the finished product.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
And so each spirit then adds a unique piece
Yeah.
to the grand mosaic of the oversoul,
Oh, wow.
contributing to its ever-expanding understanding of reality.
That's incredible. I love this whole model.
So-
It makes me realize like we have so much more control over our lives. Absolutely.
Than we think.
You do.
So the key is to really embrace.
The true order of the 9 levels.
Yeah.
So instead of getting caught in that trap of the negative ego trying to force things from that lower vibration,
Yeah.
shift your focus upward.
Upward. Okay.
Yeah.
Upward to the oversoul.
To the oversoul, to your higher mind, to those higher levels of consciousness.
Okay, so we've explored these 9 levels
We have.
and how they all interact.
Yes.
But now comes the really exciting part.
Okay.
How do we actually use this knowledge
That's the big question.
to elevate our lives?
How do we take this and make it practical in our lives?
Yeah. How do we achieve those higher levels
Exactly.
like we're striving for?
That's what we're going to talk about next.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be diving into how to put all this into practice.
Sounds good.
All right, see you soon.
So we've explored these 9 levels of consciousness
Right.
and how they interact. But now comes the really exciting part.
Okay.
How can you actually use this knowledge to elevate your life?
Right. Like, how do we take this and make it practical?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we achieve those higher levels that we're all, striving for?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the key really lies in shifting your perspective
Okay.
from the limited viewpoint of your physical mind
Okay.
to the expansive awareness of your higher mind.
Right.
It's recognizing that you're not just this physical body
Yeah.
navigating a material world,
Right.
but you're a multidimensional being with access to infinite possibilities.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we actually like bridge that gap?
Yeah.
We have our physical mind down here in the valley,
Right.
and we have our higher mind, up there on the mountaintop.
Exactly.
How do we bridge that?
So one of the most powerful tools you have is your imagination.
Oh,
And I think of imagination as the direct line of communication
Right.
between your physical mind and your higher mind.
so we're not talking about just like, daydreaming. We're talking about like really intentional.
Intentional focused visualization.
Okay.
So when you engage in conscious visualization,
Right.
you're sending a clear signal to your higher mind,
Right.
outlining your desired reality.
I see.
And remember, your higher mind has a broader perspective,
Yeah.
a much clearer vision of the path that will lead you to the fulfillment of those desires.
So it's not so much about trying to control every little detail. It's more about like co-creating
Exactly. It's about surrendering
under our mind.
to the wisdom of your higher mind,
Okay.
trusting that it will manifest those desires in a way that serves your highest good,
Yeah.
even if it unfolds a little differently than you may have pictured.
That takes a lot of pressure off.
It does.
Okay, so what about those pesky like limiting beliefs
Right.
that tend to creep in?
Yes.
That can hold us back from like believing we can manifest.
Exactly.
How do we overcome those?
So remember, those beliefs reside in the higher levels of consciousness, not below you. So instead of trying to dig them up and analyze them from a place of fear or lack,
Right.
you need to elevate your energy to a level where those beliefs simply dissolve.
So it's like we're shining a light into the darkness.
That's a great way to put it.
And those beliefs can't exist
Yes.
at that higher vibration.
Exactly. When you cultivate feelings of joy, gratitude, love, empowerment,
Okay.
you naturally raise your vibration. And as your vibration rises, those limiting beliefs fade away like shadows disappearing in the sunlight.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some practical ways that we can raise our vibration
Yes.
to help us connect with our higher mind?
Okay. Well, I know you're a big fan of meditation.
I am. Meditation's awesome.
Yes. And it's an incredibly powerful tool.
Yeah.
When you meditate, You quiet the chatter of your physical mind,
Yeah.
and you create space for the wisdom of your higher mind to emerge.
It's like we're tuning into a different frequency.
Exactly.
Now, meditation can be really transformative, but for those of us who maybe find it hard to sit still,
Yeah.
are there other options?
There are other options. Spending time in nature is incredibly grounding and uplifting.
Yes.
Nature vibrates at a very high frequency.
Yeah.
And simply being in its presence can help to raise your own vibration.
I always feel so much more connected and inspired
Yeah.
after a walk in the woods.
Yeah.
What about things like creative expression?
Creative expression is wonderful.
Can that help us connect
Absolutely.
with our higher mind?
Because when you engage in any form of creativity, whether it's painting, writing, dancing, playing music,
Yeah.
you're tapping into that flow of inspiration that comes from your higher mind.
I see.
It's a way of channeling that higher energy into physical form.
So it's like we're opening a channel
Yes.
to our higher mind.
Exactly, a direct channel.
This is all making so much sense.
Good.
So by raising our vibration through things like meditation,
Yep.
spending time in nature, expressing our creativity,
Yes.
we create a clearer and more powerful connection with our higher mind.
You do. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you use it, the
Yeah.
stronger it becomes.
So what about those times,
Yeah.
when we feel stuck
Yes.
or those old patterns and limiting beliefs kind of creep back in?
Right.
What do we do when we hit those roadblocks?
It's important to remember that this is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of doubt.
Yeah.
The key is to just keep returning to those principles that
Okay.
we've been talking about.
So it's about consistently practicing these tools
Exactly.
and not expecting to be like a master overnight.
It's about cultivating a new way of being,
Yeah.
a new way of perceiving yourself and the world around you. It's an ongoing process of growth and evolution.
This is so empowering.
It is.
It makes me realize that we have the power within ourselves to really create the life that we desire
You do.
and to achieve those higher levels that once seemed so far away.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
Oh,
Your higher mind is always with you, guiding you, supporting you every step of the way.
this has been such an insightful conversation. I feel very inspired
Good.
to put this into practice.
Me too.
We're just about out of time for this segment of our self-guided podcast. But before we wrap up this incredible exploration of Bashar's 9 levels of consciousness, I want to leave our listeners with a little something to ponder as they continue on their journey of achieving higher levels.
Okay. A challenge to spark their own exploration.
Exactly. So to all of you amazing listeners out there, here's a question for you.
All right.
Now that you're familiar with these 9 levels,
Okay.
which one resonates with you most strongly right now? And how can you strengthen your connection to that level to manifest your desires and live a more fulfilling life?
That's a great question. I like that it encourages self-reflection
Yeah.
to really look at where they are.
And that's what this self-guided podcast is all about.
Yeah.
It's not just about gaining intellectual knowledge, but about taking these concepts and making them a practical part of your life.
Embodiment.
Yes. Embodiment, letting these principles shape your thoughts, your feelings, your actions.
Yeah, it's not about passively absorbing information, but actively engaging with it.
Yes.
Using it to create change.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to take some time to reflect on that question. Dive deep into the 9 levels, connect with your higher mind, and watch as you begin to manifest the life you truly desire.
It's all there waiting for you.
Until the next self-guided podcast, stay on course.